behalf of the students and family of our Guru, Ram Naidu, myself, Vidya Balaji, and Radha Sundar, who is the granddaughter of Vidya, are happy to be here to share with you this very special day. We thank Music Academy for this opportunity because this is her 100th birthday, actually. Guru Govind Dou Kade, Kake Lagum Pai, Balihari Guru Apne, Jinu Govind Diya Bataye. This is Sant Kabir who captures the essence of what we feel today. My Guru and my God, Govind, are both before me. On whose feet shall I fall first? Balihari Guru Apne, thanks to your Guru, you know that this is your Govind. So thanks to Vidya Ma, we have really been exposed to the best of Carnatic music, and we learned so much from her apart from music. So many good qualities, so many special attributes. We start with her early days. We thought we should have her play from her young days. We should listen to her very special Veena recital. She started her early lessons at home. Her father believed in homeschooling till the age of 5. Her music lessons would have started perhaps along, maybe when she was 3 or 4, because Ram has a little story to tell us and a little demo.
When Vidya's father, C.S. Iyer, was learning from Sabesh Iyer, he was learning the Kriti Eliyene in Yadukla Kambodi, that is composed by Anaya. At that time, he was writing the notation while Sabesh Iyer was singing, and he sang, and at that time, Vidyama was 5 years old, and she was playing on the side. And she came by and she said, Sani Sari Ga Ga. And Sabesh Iyer was so impressed that he told C.S. Iyer, for this girl I will teach Veena. And that's how she started to learn Veena. She was the only person who learned at that age.
So her gurus were Sri Sabesh Iyer, Sri Sabapati Iyer, with whom she learned Veena later, and Sri Shama Shastri was the great grandson of the composer. And later, much later, Sri T.L. Venkatramaiah. One of the early stories she has shared with us, actually Ram and I did not learn from her at the same time, but we have overlapped, and we found that the same story, it was so dear to our heart, we thought we should share it with you. Her guru, Sri Shama Shastri, who is the great grandson, he was very eccentric. Sorry. I should be saying this. Her early stories that she learned from this guru was that Shama Shastri, the composer, I believe, had a very favorite student, and he would hold a lot of faith in him. But suddenly that person left without informing his guru. So Shama Shastri was very heartbroken. But after some years, one day, his wife said there is a young mendicant standing outside our house. So Shama Shastri goes to the front door and he finds a very young sadhu with a lot of tejas in his face, and he invited him in, but the sadhu kept standing there. And he said, "Oh Guru, don't you recognize me? I am that student who left without telling you. Guru Dakshane kuda kudukala. Please accept this." And he sings 2 lines of a Sahityam. I request Ram to play that. Those precious 2 lines were gifted, offered and accepted by this great Guru, and it has become part of this immortal composition. We also hear that Shama Shastri, the great grandson, was very eccentric. So when he would come to teach Vidya Ma, sometimes he would teach only 2 lines in one day, and sometimes he would teach 2 whole songs. And she was still in school. She was going to National High School to BK. So she would jot down all the songs into little scraps of paper and stuff it into her drawer and run away. Then her father saw the overflowing drawer one day and said, "Enna ipdi vechirkiya Vidya? These don't belong to you, these belong to posterity. So please write it down properly." Which is how we have this wonderful lineage of Shama Shastri's compositions, which he has so diligently published and shared with so many students. Sabesh Iyer would stay in their house when he would come to attend the music academy sessions. And a lot of the songs that he learned from him were during those years. Later, he taught the 72 Melakarta Ragamalika in detail to Sri Rajamayar, Sri Govind Rao and Vidya Ma. So each of them would notate in languages that they were comfortable with. So Vidya Ma in Sanskrit and English, Rajamayar in Tamil, and Govind Rao in Telugu or Kannada. So this pleased the Guru very much to see that 3 languages were being written. We now have a...
Volunteers, can you help that lady put her phone on silent mode? Thank you.
This is a picture of Vidya Ma in QMC where she joined intermediate. This is 1935 picture where this is Vidya Ma. She was known as Vidya Gauri, and we had this picture from our Centennary book of QMC. Which we were lucky to acquire on these photographs. She also taught Sanskrit, maths and music in many places. First she taught in Kala Nilayam, which was a bridge school run by Sister Subbalakshmi Ammal. So by the time Vidya Ma had married into this family, and she just moved 1 street from Chandravilas to Sri Vidya Colony. And then she taught in Kalakshetra, and she taught in Vidya Mandir. She also would make lessons very specially for each kind of students according to their level. And she was very good at designing these. And I have a letter from Sister Subbalakshmi recommending her to teach in Kalakshetra, saying she is a very good person to design good classes and scholarship of Vidya Ma. What can we say? We are mere students, so everybody knows how much she has done for the students. She learned authentic versions of all the composers. Muthuswami Dikshita from T.L. Venkatramaiah, Tyagaraja from Sabesh Iyer and others, and Shama Shastri from the great grandson. We have a clip here of one of the events that she did. She would always do in her music room in her house. So this is a Divyanama Kirtana. She'll explain each song.
நாம மகிமையை பற்றி ரொம்ப சாத்தியமாக சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. சில பக்தா சொல்வா பகவானுடைய தரிசனத்தோட பகவானுடைய நாமமே என்ன பெருசுலாம் அனுபவத்தில் இருக்குன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. அதில் தியாகராஜ சுவாமிகள் நாமத்திலேயே மூழ்கி இருந்தவர். அதனால நாமமே மேலும், அதுக்கு மேலே ஒன்றுமே கிடையாது. நாம சிந்தனை சாலு, அதே போல் நாம சிந்தனை பண்ணியிருந்தாரு. அதனால் ராமான்னு 2 அக்ஷரத்தில் அவர் சொல்லும்போது அவர் உணர்ச்சி தரும்ப அவர் சொல்கிற வார்த்தைகள்லாம் நடுப்பு சொல்லிட்டே இருப்பார். இஷ்ட தெய்வத்தோட நேரம் பேசுகிற மாதிரியே, ராமா நீ என்ன சேர்ந்தவன் இல்லையா, என்னோட ஒரு வார்த்தை பேச மாட்டியா, நீ ஒரு வார்த்தை பேசினா எனக்கு ஒரு மூட்டை, நீ கொக்க மாட்டை நான் கொக்க மூட்டை அப்படி இல்லைன்னு சொல்வார். அப்போ அந்த கோதண்ட ராமா பட்டாபிராமா
There would be students of all ages. We are so happy that so many of them are here today joining us to celebrate her special memory. She also published the Divya Nama Kirtana book when she was 90 years old. So this is the last book that she published and launched. This picture was done by S. Rajam sir for her. She went and explained to him and said, I want Uchavriti scene. So which he beautifully captures. And this is full of wonderful songs and explanations. It's the original picture, which is also inside the book, part of the book. All her books are available with the family as well as the shop that sells all these classical books. These are her lecture demonstrations which she has delivered over several years. Not only in Music Academy, but Nardagana Sabha, Shastri Hall, CP Arts Foundation, Kalpakam, where she did a series of lectures, which has also been compiled into a book. Madras University, Central College of Music, Kalakshetra, Max Muller, Sanskrit College. Yaar eppa kuttalum diligent ella prepare panni she would go. She had a wonderful library, and most of these topics, each one is like a, I mean for me it is like a PhD thesis. Appadi prepare panni file vechu nariya matter irukum. Adile inda kal panni her lectums were chiseled to the minute and very beautifully presented. Both Ram, I and many of the students here have accompanied her. She was very generous. Kathukutiya kache I should go train panni okati vechu dhairiyam koduthu when I okan patient again it's given, it's the blessings and dhairiyam given by Vidya. We were very lucky to go to Moscow. You know, she was very close friends with Chandradeka, the dancer and choreographer. And she did this Streen or exhibition in Moscow as part of the Festival of India. There were a lot of exhibits, beautiful exhibits with lovely text, and it traced the history of women in India through the ages. Vidya very sportingly agreed to do a Veena workshop. We have to get prepared and leave in 2 months. Our Veena Vadi shift panni anchachu. Yaar varva, eppadi vandu katpa, no idea. Whether the same people will come on the second day, we don't know. Anyway, she prepared all the lessons from start. 30 days we are going to stay there. So we had these Russians coming and they will come very curiously. Zero level Carnatic music vandu veena kattundu veena vasikappa. So first day how do we allow, on what basis can we accept them na? யாருக்கெல்லாம் சப்பலாம் கட்டிட்டு உட்கார முடியுமோ so practical. So they would come and many of the guitar players came and they were fascinated and she took us through Satli Varsha எல்லாம் பண்ணி கீதம் வரைக்கும் வந்து ப்ராப்பர் ஃபிங்கரிங் எல்லாம் வச்சு வரவீணா வாசிச்சாங்க. Then we left the Venas behind and they were all heartbroken because there's no way they can learn to play anymore. And all the Venas were there and they would come in the morning and stay the whole day. They won't go home at all because they want to practice. So this Vidya doing theory classes in the evening. Very lots of crowd will gather. They all wanted to know what was Carnatic music, and she had her charts out, and she would explain everything beautifully. We had interpreters doing it in Russian, thank God. So this is one of the early classes of Vidyama, where she would start us all off. Basic exercises, all the proper playing, fingering, plucking, and I mean, she was just marvelous. We listened to one of these clips. That was a real junior class. 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. it will start. Vidyama will get up every day at 3:30 a.m. Brahma Muhurtathilende, she packed about 2-3 lifetimes into one. This is Parampara, which she started and ran for many years. It's the Association for Preservation of Classical Carnatic Music, initially. It was functioning from her house. Lot of lectures and in-depth presentations would happen. She would fund all this from the sales of her books, and of course this was a registered trust, and we would invite donations. All of us were roped in to work as secretaries, treasurers and everything. Senior musicians came and they formed the committee. I don't know if Sri NVS is here. NV Subramaniam was with us for many years, and of course we had Lalgudi sir, we had Madhavan of Sanskrit College, and wonderful meetings. Interesting. All the book releases done through the years, where she would invite senior musicians to come and participate. This is of course the art and science, I think. Art and science. Yeah. That has many of her lectures documented. Or 20 lectures within the first 50 years of her music academy, and up to 2004 in part 2 of art and science, I think. So just run through the covers of aesthetic and scientific value. These are all in great demand by teachers and scholars, and they are being picked up from the family or from the shops. Her whole thing was, she would also invite very senior musicians to share their memories. She persuaded Shamagudi Mama to come and share his memories. Or Sangeetathai patti pesharadhukku enna irukku nu solli romba nalla pesinaar. All his old memories, and it was marvelous. So that is Lalgudi sir winding it up. This is Lalgudi sir's golden marriage anniversary. Poonjal alla decorate panni avada okatti vechi pannuva veetla. This is another book release with 2 very dear friends of hers. Best, who came and sort of consulted and worked along with her, and she also were very good friends. He has also shared these photographs, and he sent his greetings for us. This is after her books on Shama Shastri, which were 3 volumes. She brought it out as a 1 volume, and then later Subharai Shastri and Annasamy Shastri's compositions. Ellathukkum there will be text and translation, everything. Her own compositions. We have a kriti on Shama Shastri, which she wrote in Saveri and taught to Ram. There's a Varnam in Shuddha Saveri, and Nava Avarnam shlokas, which she set to music. These shlokas were written by Devi Upasakar Subramanya Iyer of Valmiki Nagar, and he is actually father of Anand Lakshmi and Kalyan Lakshmi. He's a big scholar, and he wrote it, and Vidyama set it to raga, the music of each Nava Avarnam kriti. And we would sing those shlokas and then sing the kriti. It will lead us all into that song. They're very beautiful ones. With want of time, we'll present 2 of them. सौभाग्यदायक चक्रवासिन्यै त्रिपुरवासिन्यै नमस्ते ह्रीङ्कार पूजित विश्वकाशिन्यै सकल विद्यायै नमस्ते सर्वैः समीडित सम्प्रदाये योगवनिता राध्ये नमस्ते सर्वारुण प्रभया चिदानन्दे परमयोगिन्यै नमस्ते कमलाम्बी. The other song is Sahana. सर्वारोग्यगृह सर्वेश्वर्या अष्टार गेह स्थिताया सर्वतिं करोमि वाग्देवीभिः अखिलाभिः शोभाभिः भासिता आखराध्यक्षैय विभाय राकाचन्द्र वदना ह्रीकाराध्य प्रमेया So once we got, we were asked to come to Thiruvarur, where Dikshithar's, where he used to live, and ஒரு மண்டபம் கட்டி லால்குடி சார் வந்து அது பூஜை பண்ணி he's going to inaugurate it. So நீங்க உங்க ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஓட வந்து பாடுறேன்ட்டா. வித்யாமா such a particular person, she said, அந்த ஸ்லோகம் வந்து அங்க பாடக்கூடாது, அவர் எழுதலை. So only we can sing only the Kriti. So எங்களுக்கு வந்து அது எடுக்க தெரியாது. ஸோ அது சின்ன பேப்பர்ல லாஸ்ட் லைன் எழுதிட்டு அதை சீக்கிரட்டா பார்த்துட்டு கரெக்டாக அந்த பாட்டை பாடும். Very she was scrupulously honest and so ethical about everything. That's something that we learned a lot from. I now hand over to Ram Naidu to demonstrate some select pieces which he has had the privilege of learning from her.
So our Everyone who knew our Guru knew of her immense scholarship, her deep understanding of music, of shrutis, of gamakas, of the compositions of the Trinity. She used to say that to do justice to the kritis of Shyama Shastri's family, we must understand what lies behind them. We should know the Sahitya, but also understand why the Sahitya is the way it is. What was the mind state of the composer at that time? She would then beautifully preserve the Sahitya through her aesthetic renditions, which were based on matching the melody and raga bhava with the correct gamakas and the correct moments in the Sahitya. She would say in kritis in Sanskrit, in such a kriti, composed in Sanskrit, the composer has a calm, meditative, contemplative mind where he formally praises the goddess in the vocative case of Sanskrit as Rajarajeshwari or Bhavani and saying, protect me, in a very formal reverence to the goddess. Thank you. Yeah. Or in small kritis that he sang in his prayer room, you see the same pattern. In this beautiful kriti in Faras, we think he used to sing it every day in the morning in his puja room in praise of the goddess. So you see a formality in the language matched by formality in the music. In sharp contrast, the compositions in Telugu and Tamil are very informal. They're emotionally charged. And Shyama Shastri takes liberties to the way he addresses the goddess as his mother, like a child demanding her attention. He would say things like, yeah, in this Ahiri Kriti, he says, is it fair for you to behave like this? When I believed in you, I believe in you. He says, I believe in you and you're not being fair. That's the level of informality that he uses. In another Kriti, he says, if you say you're going to come tomorrow, I won't agree. You must come now. In this beautiful kriti in Chintamani, the zigzag patterns of the raga beautifully aligned with the words that he has created. In another kriti, he depicts this impatience with sangatis. And then he is still not satisfied. And finally, that is also not enough. And he goes to the top register and sings the Samiti in second speed over 2 octaves. So in this manner, the kritis in Tamil and Telugu are very different. So Vidya used to tell us, by understanding how these kritis are constructed, we can play appropriate gamakas. And then we can showcase the emotional content of these kritis very beautifully. And then we feel we are doing justice to the great composer's wisdom and knowledge. To do this, she taught us so many principles that we had to apply in our playing right from our foundations. The first most important thing, which any student of Vidya will agree with, she would say, If there are no words, don't pluck the string. There is no sahitya, you don't have to pluck it. And we learned this from a young age. There's only one swara, one word across two swaras. There's no pluck. And she was very particular. I'm sure I see a lot of people smiling, so they know what I'm saying is very true. She was very particular about this. Then she used to tell us, see the word groupings. Don't split the words incorrectly as and how you like. For example, in the beautiful Varna Kalyani in Matyathara, there is a passage where the swara grouping is 6 and 6. So it's 6 and 6 to make up one. But the sahitya is set up with tension against the 6 plus 6 to be as 5 plus 3. And that gives a very beautiful, quality to the sahitya when we play it in these varnams. That we play a sahityam for the muktai swara and then come back to the pallavi again. So this is how it sounds. This is the swaram. And the sahityam. So in this manner, she wanted us to group the words very correctly. To her, it was very important that we played it this way. Then she would say, now you're presenting the sahitya in its correct grammar. And now you should play the right gamakas. In Sari Avaramma, Shyama Shastri describes the goddess as having no equal. Ni Sari Avaramma. When the ni is played in the Nishada and Bhairavi, we play it with a huge oscillation going from sa to ni. To show that the goddess is much greater than him. But in the next line it says, Ni daya jodam, show compassion upon me. There she would tell us you should do it with a small gamaka from the Daivata, the same Nishada swara in the second line. So in this manner, the same swaras would be oscillated by different amounts to convey the sahitya. And so how did we learn this? For Veena players, there are so many das, so many knees, so many kinds of gamakas and Bhairavi. She would expand our basic alankaras, so we would learn how to do this. So we can play the big knee and the small knee and high gamaka, small gamaka. And so she could translate these complex ideas into simple principles that we, as young Veena players, would easily understand and internalize, so that we could play Bhairavi. The next thing she used to tell us is we should experience the sahitya by creating images of it, of the words. Again, in Sari Avarama, in the Chitta Swara, in the Swara Sahitya, the Swaram goes. Those swaras have the corresponding sahitya, Sarasa Dala Nayana. That is the one whose benevolent eyes are as beautiful and delicate as the petals of the lotus. So Vidya taught us to create that image to show the rounded nature of the lotus petals, so that when we play the swara, it will sound different. Or, if you were describing the voice of the goddess as Makarandavani, the one whose voice is delicate as the flower nectar, how to use Janta Swara. This beautiful Vivadi Raga, there's a kriti called Parvati Ninnu, where we get many of these swaraksharas. And she would want us to highlight these aesthetic beauties in the kriti. Finally, she would also want us to experience the mood of the sahitya, so when we enjoyed it, the people who listened to it could also enjoy it. This was a very famous line she used to sing in many of her demonstrations from the Varali Kriti, Bangaru Kamakshi, of the Swara Sahitya, where Shastri says, Na Manavi Vini Devi. So the Chitta Swaram, the Swaram goes like this. The second line, so the first line is this. The next line she demonstrated many times, and if you had heard her lecture demonstrations, you would have heard this line. And then he says, come quickly. That line, she says, Karuna Judavama, come quickly. He's in a hurry, but he has to show delicate compassion. To hear her talk in her demonstrations, and all this, many of these things she taught us, many of the things we learned by observing her and being around her, and through her grace we've been able to learn many of these subtleties. Now, that being said, I want to say this is Vidyama's own concert veena. When she left us, her family gave it to me saying she wanted me to have it. I'm very greatly privileged. And she also wrote me a note saying how it was her own veena and she wanted me to have it after her. Now, invoking her grace and guidance, we will render 3 kritis of Shyama Shastri in Sanskrit, in Tamil and in Telugu. The first one, Pahi Mam Sri Rajarajeshwari, in the Raga Nata, is the one in which Shastri experiences the goddess as the embodiment of the creative arts of music and dance, and he describes her as Sangeeta Rasike Nata Priye. This beautiful kriti is in Sanskrit, in Nata, set to Rupakatha. Of time, I will play the Kriti in Telugu. You've heard the beautiful song, beautiful story that Nithya described about Shyama Shastri's first student. After Shyama Shastri's student came and presented the Sahityam Varasita Giri, the Guru was so overwhelmed, he went into his puja room and he sang this Kriti in his most favorite raga, Ananda Bhairavi. The Kriti is called Adinamu Ninchi Pagadi Pagadi, set to Triputata.
Saying, wherever you are, Vidya ma, happy birthday.
I now throw it open to members of the experts committee. Dr. Ramakausalya.
ரொம்ப அழகான லெக்சர் டெமான்ஸ்ட்ரேஷன். எனக்கு ஒரு சந்தேகம், ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கிறது, ரொம்ப புனிதமான இருக்கிறது, அந்த வீணை இன்னைக்கு நம்ம தரிசனம் பண்றவங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமான விஷயம். எனக்கு ஒரு சந்தேகம், அந்த கீழே அப்புறம் நீங்க வச்சிருந்தேல அந்த ஸ்டூட் சேர்க்குற கீ நீங்கள் அப்புறம் நம்ம ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணேன் அதில் கீ பண்ணிட்டால அவன் அந்த காலத்தில் அக்செப்ட் பண்ணிடல. இல்லை எனக்கு அது ஒரு தோணிது. இன்னொன்று நிறைய சொல்லும்போது பாசிட்டிவ் ரிமார்க்காக சொல்ல பண்ண பப்ளிகேஷன்ஸை பற்றி எவ்வளோ பெரிய விஷயம் தெரியுமா அது. எஸ்பெஷலி சுப்பராய சாஸ்திரி, அண்ணாசாமி சாஸ்திரி காம்போசிஷன்ஸுக்கு மாமியோட புக் தான் அத்தாரிட்டி, வேறு யாருக்கும் இதுக்கு சந்தை யாரை போய் கேட்குறது இன்னைக்கு. அந்த புக்கு ஒன்று தான் நமக்கு அது ஒன்று தான். இன்னொன்று மாமியோட பெரிய குவாலிட்டி வந்து ஷேரிங். அந்த காலத்தில் வந்து ரிசர்ச் பண்ணுறவாளெல்லாம் வந்து ஒருத்தரும் பெரியவாளுக்கெல்லாம் வந்து ரிசர்ச் பண்ணால் அதை பற்றி பேசினா பிடிக்காது. ரொம்ப பெரியவாளுக்கெல்லாம் பேச சங்கீதமாக எடுத்துலாம் கேலி பண்ணுவாங்க. அப்போ அந்த காலகட்டத்தில் எனக்கு ரிசர்ச்சுக்காக மாமிகிட்ட போனேன். போயிட்டு இந்த புக்கை படிச்சியான்னு கேட்டேன். முதல்ல முழுக்க பார்த்துட்டு தான் வந்திருக்கேன், எல்லாத்தையும் பார்த்துட்டு என்னுடைய ஆப்சர்வேஷனும் சந்தேகம் கேட்டபோது ரொம்ப அழகாக பொறுமையாக உட்காந்துட்டு அதை நல்லா எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணி நீ செஞ்சுக்கிறது ரைட்டு தான், இது இப்படி தான், அது சரிதான்னு சொன்னேன். அந்த சரிதான்னு சொல்கிற பெரிய மனசு, அதை ஷேர் பண்ணின மனசு எல்லாம் ரொம்ப பெரிய மனசு வாங்க. அது அவரோட இன்னொரு முகம். அது தேங்க்யூ ஃபார் கிவிங். மாமியை இன் டோட்டாலிட்டி மாமியை கொடுத்தது ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக இருக்குது. தேங்க்யூ.
Her generosity in sharing is something that I also would like to place on record. This was probably in the early 2000s. Where was Srimati Vidya Shankar, and I was some young chap writing in magazines. Then she invited me over. Twice I had gone to her house, and both the times so many books were just given, saying that you take this, you keep this, you will find it of use to you. Amazing personality. And I must also remember Mr. Shankar. He used to be correspondent of Vidya Mandir school when we were all students. And such a fascinating personality he used to be. He used to come to school, he used to address all of us. I cannot forget him at all. I still remember him with his vibhuti and that dhoti and kurta that he used to come in. And Vidyama also used to come. And once or twice he's even taken music classes for all of us when we were very young children at that time. But Mr. Shankar, Vidyama I got to know because of much later, but Mr. Shankar has remained a memory, an everlasting memory, the way he used to speak. Fantastic people, fantastic couple.
I would like to make a comment about Mr. Shankar. I met Mr. Shankar before Vidyama. And once my mother and we had gone to see Kamba Ramayanam being performed. And I met Mr. Shankar and he said, "Oh, you play the veena? My wife also plays the veena." Little did I know who this person was.
I've got the other, I'm sorry this has become an anecdote style, a sharing stage on Vidyama, but the other story is about, I think, Mr. Shankar being very ill or somebody being very ill in the family and Vidyama going to the hospital. This was told to me by one of the doctors who was present. And the chief doctor just dismissed this old lady wanting to know further details about, the patient. So then she puts down her walking sticks and says, "I must tell you that my uncle was a Nobel laureate." So that man slowly gets up. My brother happens to be yet another. And then the man just woke up as though he was given an electric shock, sat down with her, patiently pulled out every file and explained all the details of the illness. Sangeeta Kalanidhi, Sri T.V. Gopalakrishnan sir.
Thank you very much for a very beautiful demonstration, very intimate. Vidyama, one of the most sensitive human beings. அதான் அவளை பற்றி முக்கியமாக சொல்கிறது. எனக்கு வந்து சென்னையில் இருந்து ஒரு 60s அவள் பழக்கம். என் வீட்டுக்கு நிறைய வாட்டி வந்திருக்கேன், அவள் வீட்டுக்கு நிறைய வாட்டி போவேன். ஏதாவது விசேஷம் தான் கூப்பிடுவான். நாங்கள் தம்பதி பசங்க போவோம். என்னோடய பொண்ணுக்கு வீடு சொல்லி வச்சுருக்கா. அதெல்லாம் விட அவள் வந்து எனக்கு வெரி என்ன சொல்ல எதாவது வெரி க்யூரியஸ் அபவுட் என்ன பண்ணியிருக்கா ஆக்டிவிட்டி. ஸோ அவசியமே கிடையாது கேட்குறது. எனக்கு ஹிந்துஸ்தானி கற்றுக்க போகிறோம். நீ வந்து கிருஷ்ணானந்த அவளுக்கு ஃப்ரெண்டாக எனக்கு கூறினார். உன்னோட கச்சேரி, என்னோட முதல் கச்சேரி நான் என் வீட்டில் தான் வச்சுக்க போகிறேன் அப்படின்ட்டான். அம்மா இல்லை அப்படி தான் அப்போ தான் எலைட்டு கொஞ்சம் பேரை கூப்பிட்டு நீ பாடணும் வச்சுக்கிறேன். இப்போ மெட்டிகுலஸாக அது இன்விடேஷன் அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணி எல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு பாட வச்சு இன்னும் பாட போகிறேன். ஒரு வீட்டில் ஒரு கேர்ள்ஸ் எம்எஸ்சி தான் வாசிச்சாருங்க. அந்த கச்சேரிக்கு எம்எஸ்சியும் மூர்த்தியும் வாசித்தான். மறக்க முடியாது. அதுதோ அவன் வீட்டு ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் மாதிரி வச்சுட்டு அவ்வளோ மெட்டிகுலஸாக எதை செஞ்சாலும் மெட்டிகுலஸாக செய்வான். அப்படி 2 பேரும் வரது அப்படி என்ன சொன்னேன், ஒரு தெய்வீகமாக இருக்கோட வார்த்தை. என்கிட்ட ஏதோ ப்ராஜெக்ட்டு வரும்போது சந்திரலேகாக ஏதோ ப்ராஜெக்ட் கேட்டான். நவகிரகம் பி கிருஷ்ணமூர்த்தி பாடி டிவிஜி நீங்கள் தான் வாசிக்க. சந்திரலேகா உங்கள் ஹேண்ட்ஸ் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். இது என்ன தள்ளே எடுத்து பிடி சொல்கிறேன், எனக்கு வாசிப்பை பிடிக்காதான் கிடையாது. இல்லை நீங்கள் வாசித்தா தான் அழகாக இருக்கும், அதனால நீங்களே வாசிக்கணும்னு சொன்னான். இப்படி போய் இதை ரிஹர்சல் பண்ணி பாண்டிச்சேரியில் அந்த ஆசிரமத்தில் ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்காக சொன்னான். அப்படி அவன் வந்து வித்தியாசமே கிடையாது. யூஸ் நெவர் ஒன்று சொன்னாது லைம் லைட் பவுண்டு பர்ஃபார்மர் கிடையாது. ஜென்யூன் 100% living for music and the aesthetics and the art. Great soul, very great. Instead, என்ன பண்ண போகிறேன், இந்த வருஷம் அகாடமியில் தான் பண்ண போகிறேன். ஒரு 6-7 வருஷம் சேர்ந்த மாதிரி அகாடமியில் பண்ணேன். அந்த காலத்தில் 60s-70s இந்த டைம் தியரி அது இதெல்லாம் இந்துஸ்தானி கர்நாடிக் இதெல்லாம் பண்ணேன். பல்லவிகளே பண்ணுவோம். அப்புறம் என்ன பண்ண போகிறேன், நீங்கள் ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ண பேப்பர் வேணும். வில் கிவ் மீ ஆல் த மெட்டீரியல். இதெல்லாம் பார்க்கணும், நீங்கள் அதெல்லாம் பார்க்கணும் நீ. As though she was presenting the paper. அந்த அளவுக்கு ஒரு involvement with somebody who really is interested. அம்மா சொன்னாலே இது மாதிரி வெரி வெரி ஜென்யூன் பர்சன். அந்த மாதிரி பர்சன்ஸ் இன்னைக்கு ரொம்ப அரிது அந்த மாதிரி வாழ பார்க்கறது. நான் என்னுடைய நன்றிக்கடனை தெரிவிச்சுக்கிறேன். God bless you.
I just want to add that, you know, when the Devadasi and the Saint, the Bengaluru Nagaratnama biography that I wrote was released and Prasanna Ramaswamy did a play on it, the first person to come for the staging of the play was Vidya Ma. And I remember Prasanna holding my hand and saying this play is a success because we've had such a saintly person coming to attend this particular performance. So everything was over, we were chatting. Then she asked me about, you know, who my parents were and all that. And then finally she told me, do you know I have attended your wife's grandparents' wedding? That is when I realized what the age difference between me and Vidya was. And she said, Veena Dhanamal Vascha, the Kalyanathila na boy attended. I didn't know this, neither did Sharda, but it was an amazing fact that she revealed to all of us.
I just want to add, there are 2 students here who are running classes just like Vidyama. Sarasu from Singapore is here, she's running classes there. And we have Kadambari who is teaching in Srirangam. So thank you for coming for this day.
I now hand over the mic to Sangeeta Kalanidhi designate Vidushi Srimati Aruna Sairam for her summing.
வித்யாம்மாவுடைய 100வது பிறந்த நாளின் போது அவளை நம்ம நினைக்கிறதே ஒரு ரொம்ப பெரிய முக்கியமான சங்கீதத்தினுடைய சாப்டர்ஸ்ல வித்யாம்மாவை பத்தி ஒரு டிஸ்கஷன்ங்கிறது ரொம்ப முக்கியம். பிகாஸ் ஆஃபன் நம்ம வந்து ஸ்டேஜில் பர்ஃபார்மன்ஸஸ் கச்சேரி கொடுக்குறவா, அதில் தேர்ச்சி பெற்றவா, அவளை நம்ம கொண்டாடணும். பட் பேக்ரவுண்டில் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கிரேட் பீப்புள் இருக்கிறதுனால தான் பர்ஃபார்மர்ஸால் பர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ண முடியாது. டிவிஜி சார் சொன்ன மாதிரி அவர் அவ்வளோ இது பண்ணால் பேக்ரவுண்டில் அம்மா வந்து இவ்வளவு எத்தனை பேருக்கு அந்த மாதிரி ஹெல்ப் பண்ணியிருப்பாவா, பாரபட்சம் பார்க்காம ஹெல்ப் பண்ணியிருக்கா. அதனால தான் ஒருத்தரும் இன்னைக்கு அவளை நினைக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு நிலைமையில இருக்கு. அதனால அவளை நம்ம அவசியம் இன்னைக்கு நினைக்கிறது ரொம்ப முக்கியம். வித்யாம்மாவை நான் சந்திரலேகாவோட நானும் ஒரு 1 or 2 ப்ரொடக்ஷன்ஸில் மியூசிக் கம்போஸ் பண்ணி பாடவும் பாடியிருக்கேன் பல வருஷங்களுக்கு முன்னாடி. அப்போது ஃபஸ்ட்டு அதுக்கு ஒரு மாதிரி ஒரு ரஃப் ஷேப் வந்த உடனே சந்திரலேகா அம்மா வந்து வித்யாம்மாவுக்கு ஃபோன் பண்ணுவாள், நீங்கள் வந்து ஒரு முறை பார்க்கணும், அதை வந்து பார்த்து எப்படி இருக்குன்னு சொல்லணும்னு. அப்போது அந்த சந்தர்ப்பங்களில் வித்யாம்மாவை சந்திக்கிற ஒரு வாய்ப்பு எனக்கு கிடைச்சிது. சொல்கிற மாதிரி அது ஒரு ஜென்டில் சோல், saintly soul. As they say, you know, when people attain very great heights, they become childlike and gentle. There's a huge difference between childish and childlike. And Vidyamma was like that. She was so evolved. She was just like a child and எல்லாத்தையும் embrace பண்ணிட்டு அந்த மாதிரி. Another connection that I have with the Shama Shastri repertoire I would like to place on record is, and one of my gurus, Shri A.S. Mani, அவருடைய மதர் ஷாமளா அம்மா வந்து she was a direct disciple of Annaswamy Shastri. ஸோ சுப்ரய சாஸ்திரி வந்து அவர் 8வது வயசுல கம்போஸ் பண்ண தோழி வர்ணம் கருணா கட்டாட்சி, அது வாய்முகமாக எனக்கு இவாளுடைய இது வழியாக வந்து எனக்கு மணிமாமா சொல்லி கொடுத்தார். அந்த வர்ணங்கள் பல கச்சேரிகளில் ஐ பிகின் மை கச்சேரி வித் தட் தோடி வர்ணம் கருணா கட்டாட்சி. அதில் வந்து சரணத்தில் சுண்டி வரலில் ஆரம்பிக்கும், எந்த ஒரு மகானுபாவில் மாதிரி எல்லா சுரங்களும் சுண்டி வரல் சமத்தில் ஆரம்பிக்கும். அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ரேர் காம்போசிஷன்ஸ். பரம பாவனி அட்டானா அது ஜிஎன் சாரு பாடுவார், பட் இவா பாடுற ஸ்டைல் ஒரு மாதிரி டிஃப்ரெண்ட்டாக இருக்கும். ஸோ இவ்வளோ கிரேட் பர்சனை பற்றி இவ்வளோ அழகாக வாசிச்சேன் நீங்கள். அது வாசிப்பில் அந்த நயம், அந்த ஒரு சின்ன கமகங்கள், அதுவும் அந்த ஒரு இடத்துல சொரத்துலேயும் சாகித்லையும் என்ன வித்தியாசம் அப்படி நீங்கள் வாசித்து காமிச்சீங்களே, அப்போது குருவுக்கு ஏற்ற சிஷ்யா நீங்கள் 2 பேருங்கிறத எங்களுக்கு நிரூபித்து காமிச்சு உங்களுக்கு எங்களுடைய நன்றிகள். வணக்கம்.
Tomorrow we meet again at 8 a.m. when the TTK awardee for this year, Vidushi Kalyani Ganeshan, will present on Chitta